welcome to our webinar today, AI Governance, Managing Risk, Building Trust, Achieving Compliance. My name is Boğaç Özgen, and I'm here on behalf of CFE Academy, or CFE certification. I hope you're enjoying your day. All right, let's start. Today is 16th of July, 2026, and AI is continuing to emerge. So this is quite a hot topic nowadays, especially after the AI companies announcing the importance of AI governance, safety, and security of security of data and safety of individuals and so forth for the future, and some societal impacts and all sorts of things. It is a hot topic. It is wonderful to see you here and seeing that you're interested in this topic. First, let me explain tell about CFE Cert a little bit. CFE Cert is a UCAS accredited certification body providing different kinds of services in information security, service management, business continuity, quality management, GDPR, privacy, management systems, certifications. They are part of different professional bodies like the Association of British Certification Bodies or the UK Cybersecurity Council, and also Corporate Risk Management Association. So if you have any kind of inquiry about ISO management system certifications in the areas that I've just listed, I would urge you to contact CFE Cert via their contact details that I will give you very soon. Okay, and CFE Academy is a part of CFE certification business, and they provide webinars, training, seminars, and that kind of stuff. So if you are interested in the training schedule, there's one copy that I will present after this training, and you can always inquire about their list of trainings and seminars coming training and seminars from their website too. All right, just a little bit about myself. My name is Boğaç Özgen, and I have been doing audits since I was 6, and I have conducted nearly 1,000 audits in nearly 40 countries around the world, and I have been running my own consultancy and training business too, completed more than 100 consulting projects. I have been working in governance area for the last 20 plus years, and I work in information security, software development, service management, business continuity, and data governance areas. I also sit in the ISO 27001 committee in the UK, so I try to do my best to contribute to the development of the ISO 27000 family standards. Okay, what are we talking about today? Today we are talking about AI governance. I'm going to try to enroll you in the idea that AI governance is actually an important yet an easy target to achieve, and it helps us to manage the emerging risks in the AI area, which, interesting enough, we'll be talking about that. It's touching everywhere. We are going to be talking about building trust, accountability, responsibility, and so forth, and achieving compliance. But the interesting thing is, I don't know whether you are working in a company which is certified against ISO 27001 standard, or any other standard like this, but particularly ISO 27001, which brings governance practices and governance structure into the company. In this presentation, you will see that it is actually quite aligned with that mindset, and AI governance can easily be implemented on top of ISO 27001 as an extension, if you like. Similar to 42001 AI management system, you can utilize your existing governance practices, if you like. So today we'll be talking about everyday AI, how we are using AI in our daily work, in our personal environment, and in the automation that we mostly rely on. Then we'll talk about the AI risk landscape, which is slightly different than the information security risks and so forth, because information security area is quite a mature area. AI is an emerging area, and security risks are um, new to the professionals in this area. And we'll be talking about the AI landscape. Then we'll talk about the parallels between ISO 27001 and AI governance, if you like. And we'll talk about where this parallelism breaks. And I will just present to you a framework that I have developed, and I will just explain, how it fits in. So let's start. Everyday AI. Okay. So in our work, in our businesses, in our personal lives, AI is becoming a more and more trusted companion. We are talking about some business problems. We're talking about some potential issues. We are asking for support. We are using AI to translate things into different languages. Sometimes we utilize it to prepare reports, to analyze data, to create documents. Sometimes we go further. We start chatting about issues, problems, opportunities, and so forth, and creating some project plans or roadmaps and so forth. On the other hand, the businesses utilize it as customer-facing chatbots or some scoring mechanisms, automated agentic processes, some analytics, research activities, and all these things are becoming more and more common all around us. Personally, we are using it to chat. Basically, sometimes we get humor out of AI companions, but also sometimes we ask for some health-related things, personal support, personal development things, book recommendations, movie recommendations. If we can't remember something, we just we use AI. So it is an incredibly I don't know whether this is the correct term, but a creepy idea within our everyday life. So it is getting a part of our daily lives in the business, in the personal area, and so forth. In the business area, obviously companies started using AI quite heavily. We use them as chatbots, AI-powered automation, tools, agents-based tools, and so forth. We are developing models, or maybe some AI-assisted decision making. We process some personal data, or AI comes as an embedded feature of the software products that we acquire within our environment. Or sometimes we are utilizing different, multiple agents or multiple agent-based systems to talk to each other, to take decisions, to take actions, and run some of the or some parts of the processes on behalf of us. And as a result of this, obviously, the business area is changing significantly. While we are doing this, obviously, as all the phenomena, naturally, it emerged and everybody started using it. I'm pretty sure that you may remember OpenClaw and all the security people talking about the risks related to OpenClaw and everything. And I'm pretty sure that you have come across the news about the incidents and leakages, data leakages, and other incidents related to AI. One of the reasons for this kind of stuff happening is, well, because it's natural, it happens. But on the other hand, there's lack of governance, because the idea is very new. So, so the organizations started embracing AI capabilities without getting fully ready for that. So there's no asset register, there's no approved AI capability, there's no ownership in place, there's no the data governance practices, implemented in usage and model development and that kind of stuff. So this area is quite new to the organizations because everybody was so impressed with the capabilities of AI, the automation capabilities and justification, reasoning capabilities of AI, that they wanted to acquire these capabilities and utilize this as a very significant resource within their businesses. And this is not a surprising thing, obviously. But everybody started thinking about the same thing, and AI is just a commodity now. We can utilize it very easily. We can just download, an app or something like that, or an application on our laptops. So that we can immediately start uploading information, asking questions, putting some screenshots, and getting engaged with, the miracle of the AI. This is what we call the shadow AI, because most of it is not visible to the security teams in the businesses, and they cannot review what is happening. The data exported to these environments, how are they going to be used, and why are they, uploaded there? What is the reason, and what's the classification of the data? All these questions are unanswered, unfortunately. So I'm talking about shadow AI, obviously, but it is one of the most common risks. This is why I'm talking about it. But also the AI platforms came without a formal decision. Now the company is starting understanding the risks related to this, because the risks related to AI are different than the risks related to foundational information security concept. So what organizations face today is, the first thing is that is connected tools and teams working with AI, developing things and everything. So we don't have a view of the organizational risk. It is happening there, and we don't have any visibility, no transparency. The regulations from all around the world, coming up, and they require us to implement some controls, but obviously duplication of effort is inevitable in these situations. Evidence collection is slow because it is not visible to the incident response teams and everything, and obviously when you have audit processes, it is hard to deal with the auditors and so forth, because it is a disseminated capability all around the organization. The leadership cannot see the impact levels, so prioritization becomes an issue, unfortunately, and risk perception is slightly different, because we cannot measure the risk because there's no transparency, and there's clear lack of accountability, because this is a commodity. Everybody can utilize it very easily. You just suddenly realize that in the application that you have been using, there's now AI feature popping up, and it's so tempting to use. And also, as a general thing, the companies experience pressure from regulators, like data protection, GDPR, the Data Act, for example, for the EU, AI Act, then the cybersecurity requirements, the identity and access management requirements. And, there are lots of things happening, and new regulations and requirements, obligations are emerging from everywhere. So this is one side of the pressure. The second side of the pressure is the customers and partners. They want AI capabilities. They definitely want AI capabilities, but they want to have these capabilities responsibly managed, responsibly handled, because they want to rely on you with handling the classified information. On the other hand, the technology side of things, the technology is emerging in an unbelievable pace, and the traditional security arrangements don't always work in this kind of environment, unfortunately. So as you can see, AI is emerging so fast, so unpredictably, that organizations are recently starting realizing the importance of the risks, importance of the threats that come with AI emergence. So what are the AI landscapes? For example, in the framework that I developed, we identified 79 risks related to different domains in the AI life cycle, if you like, um, and 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 this is an incredible number, because normally, in information security area, we have multiple domains and everything, and just AI itself is kind of a uh, focus for the malicious actors, if you like, because this is a new technology. The opportunity of uh, integrating a malicious piece of prompt or a piece of data or piece of solution, an agentic intention, and that kind of stuff is becoming so easy that it is so attractive for malicious actors to utilize that. Therefore, the risks that we have identified is quite big, actually. The domains, these risks are related to data and training, the training data and the data that we are feeding into the models. Uh, we have risks related to model development, model level risks. We have prompt and input risks, prompt injections and that kind of stuff, if you like. We use the outputs and misuse of these outputs. For example, very recently I was trying one thing and I was able to extract some personal information of some from out of a forum, a mathematics forum, from an open source model. It turns out that the open source model imported the forum's data, and they trained the model, with that data set. And I was able to extract names, dates, and comments to some specific things, some personal information related to trainings, what's it called, professions, and so forth. So it was, and it wasn't a hard thing to achieve, really. So outputs and misuse is another domain. System and infrastructure, obviously, it's quite self-explanatory. Privacy issues, handling PII and so forth, related to other areas, obviously, other domains of risk domains. It is also an attractive area for the malicious actors. We have risks related to governance, supply chain, humans and employees and organization, and obviously we have the strategic and governance related risks. And it is important to realize that this covers the whole life cycle of the AI systems, if you like, and each area has different numbers of risks, and within this this framework that I will explain in a minute. But as you can see, the AI field is so available now for everyone. It is easy to set up businesses. It is easy to create solutions. It is easy to inject malicious intent. It is easy to make money. It is easy to achieve your intended objectives, or failed badly. So everything is possible. It is like the Wild West, if you like. Okay. So what does it mean? It means that we need to be ready for what is coming. Still, it is early stages, so the number of malicious actors is on the rise, obviously, but it is still an unexplored territory, if you like. Malicious actors are trying to figure out, new ways of attacking, the systems, organizations, individuals, businesses, and so forth. But what we have that let us have the upper hand, if you like, is an existing governance practices. So we have the discipline already exist in place. If you have ISO 27001, certification or an implementation in your organization, this means that you already have the foundation of that. So AI can be an extension to ISMS rather than a competing management system, and I'm not talking about 42001, ISO 42001, the AI management system. I'm just talking about the AI environment. If you like, it can be an extension to information security management system, though it must be very clear in your mind that I'm not talking about certification. So ISO certification bodies don't provide any kind of extended certificate for AI, okay, at this point in time. There's nothing like that, so please do not take my statements wrong. But what I'm trying to say is, if you have an implementation of ISO 27001, then you can have the AI governance as an extension to what you already do and have, and it doesn't replace it. It doesn't have to be completely a new mindset or anything like that. Uh, it but it extends it. You can easily reuse what you have already implemented in place. So, for example, in your ISMS, we have the assets, the inventory ownership, we have the access and identity management, we have change management, incident management, and auditing and evidence collection. So in our ISMS, these are all controls that we have in place. And if you have been certified for a while, or if you have the information security implementation for a while, you are somehow quite mature, in these areas. Besides the AI, brings in, similar ideas, if you like, the AI governance, or the AI governance framework that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. And it comes with asset registry, an inventory. It talks about the access management to the models, to the development environment, to tools, and and also it is not only the individuals who are working in that environment. It needs to control the access and identity of the agents working along with the deterministic systems, if you like, or the traditional IT systems, as we call it. Change management is quite similar. We need to implement change management as if we're running, regular systems, monitoring and incidents. Well, this is an interesting thing, actually. If AI, if you remember the risks related to AI output and misuse, for example, it is very much, similar to data leakage prevention, data leakage controls within our information security management system areas. So it comes with very similar approaches and capabilities, if you like. But obviously, there's a point where the parallels breaks. First of all, the AI is not a deterministic practice or phenomenon, if you like. I love this word. And we cannot predict 100% predict what is coming next, because the data itself is the behavior, and because of the probabilistic nature of AI vector databases and everything, or the inference activities, let's say, we cannot get exactly the same answer twice, to our one single question. It is not possible in the AI world. So poisoning the data, just injecting some prompts and trying to extract information out of the model database is becoming more and more common. And probably you may be hearing all these things on the news and everything, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and so forth. The interesting thing about AI, especially with the agentic, automation and everything, if your model has some kind of poisoning or anything like that, then it's going to spread very quickly, and it doesn't show the vulnerabilities very clearly, because the models that we are using are converted into vector databases, and these vector databases are not, you know, human readable. So they are like, you know, black boxes, if you like. And the process in the inference activity itself is also, you know, not transparent. Therefore, we cannot easily see the prompt, sorry, the data, you know, poisoning, the intent, how can I say, the data that we, you know, fed the models with may have some instructions in them, and you know, may have some commands that may be running in agentic systems. So these are not visible to the human eye. These are not easily visible to even the agentic auditing systems and so forth. So it is like a black box. You know, it cannot explain itself, and it spreads very quickly, if you like. So just, you know, a sample set of threats here. Prompt injection. You know, this is something that we constantly utilize. If you know, the automated AI agents or automation systems, you know, based on the AI agents, can create its own prompts, obviously. And if the data is poisoned, then the prompts that they created can be untrustworthy, you know, and then, you know, the information created as a result of those prompts can easily be misused, and so forth. Shadow AI, we talked about shadow AI. Hallucinated decisions. As I said, you know, these are probabilistic environments. These are not deterministic. So if you ask one question twice, you will get two different answers, you know, and they may be different. So the hallucination, the difference in these answers can be due to the mood of the conversation, or can be due to hallucinations. The data, well, not the data, sorry, the information, you know, coming out to you can easily be made up, completely made up, because the probabilistic or probability of the, 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 the tokens coming together shows one interesting thing in the second message that doesn't really, you know, fit in with the answer we got the first time. So the hallucinations are really very common. They are getting, I believe, you know, the models are getting better at, you know, preventing hallucinations. But obviously, you can, you know, change the parameters when you run the models actually for hallucinations. But it's still a probabilistic environment, and hallucinations will be, you know, a part of our lives anyway. Agent worms. Oh, this is an interesting interesting concept, and this is a as I just explained, you know, there's a prompt, and that prompt, interestingly, you know, replicates itself, and it spreads, it creeps through the systems and everything, and it infects, you know, other systems. And one of the biggest things, and I'm a true believer of managing, or the necessity of managing this, is the governance theater. You know, we believe that we do a lot of things, but unfortunately, they're not effective, and they don't always work. So just one example again, shadow AI usage. It is from my perspective, it's a very high risk, because it is almost certain, the likelihood is very high, and there's a major exposure in the businesses to shadow AI usage due to the easiness of downloading, you know, AI tools and utilizing them in our environment. So so the incidents are not easily visible, and there's no malicious actor required in this case, because the individual using the AI without telling the IT security team is the actor, you know, and we're not looking for a malicious intention here, but the results can be quite adverse anyway. So what can we do? The first thing is, for treating the shadow AI usage risk is we want to have an inventory of AI assets, and if they cannot be used, we need to have approved alternatives. We need to ensure that the classification of data uh, is understood by the users, and there's a policy that that tells about what kind of classification levels we can use in the AI systems, and if something happens, we need to be able to detect what's happening there. So monitoring activities and so forth are really very important. So these are some basic controls that you can implement for managing the shadow AI usage. And the technology is getting better and better. There are tools supporting the AI systems to be able to do that. So in the framework that I developed, you can easily address these controls to other frameworks like the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, or the EU AI Act, or the ISO 42001. So once you have an assessment, you can see your exposure, in different regulations or different frameworks too. Doing one thing, and then the visibility spreads across the list of the frameworks. So the main idea is to have AI governance. So the AI governance is a governance process, and in my work, I run an 8-step governance process. We initiate, we scope our work, we create the policies and expectations and everything. We create the register, and then we assess the environment. We, as a result of the assessment, we have some action items. We implement them, and then we monitor. This is very similar to the PDCA cycle. But what is different in this governance process is we have formal decision gates. We have handshakes. We have the cyclical approach, so that the accountability follows responsibility, and people who have the authority, when they take the decisions, there's visibility, and there's mutual agreement by different parties to move forward within this process. So this is about creating the trust. This is about managing our environment reliably, so that other parties can rely on our capabilities, if you like. So handshaking is an interesting thing because, as I said, building trust is a key thing. Digital trust is one of the most common topics nowadays, as you know. So the governance function needs to get involved with the asset owners, so that the asset owners understand what is happening there. So it's all transparent. It's all a mutual agreement. And once it is created, and this we can expect an effective implementation of the controls in the on the assets and in the environment that the asset is in. So it becomes really very effective. As I said, you can implement these things as an extension to ISO 27001. If you implement 42001, as a separate management system, and look for certification, it is also a wonderful idea. Also, the framework that I'm presenting to you here is mapped to 42001 too, so that this AI management system standard is just giving you all the direction and everything, and the mapping to other frameworks and regulations, if you like. And this is same. Okay, so what is this framework then? It is the Gyrofalco AI governance framework. If you're familiar with the CMMI or COBIT or something like that, I have 19 plays and 79 risks. The framework itself allows us to measure the maturity of the organization, capability of the processes, and as a result of that, you can identify your own objectives and targets. Also, we do the risk assessments and risk treatment activities, and it comes with its own proprietary automation platform. And if you remember the pressure that the organizations receive from different parties, we are addressing all of these areas by creating accountability, reliance, and a defendable governance posture. The platform itself is framework agnostic, interestingly. AI governance framework is one of them, but also you can implement ISO 27001, ISO 42001, and you can conduct assessments on regulations like EU AI Act and so forth. So it is a framework agnostic platform, and it also includes AI assisted evaluation. Just so you know. Anyway, it's an interesting detail here. It is a framework that you can add on to our existing ISO 27001 approach. And it is aligned with the strategic level, the tactical level, and the operational level, or the strategic, operational, and technical levels, if you like. And sample plays from the framework is about asset governance, data governance, input, output, and safe automation, agentic automation, decision integrity, governance assurance, and so forth. So, as you can see, throughout this presentation, we talked about managing risk, understanding the landscape, building trust through visibility, transparency, accountability, and responsibility, managing the responsibilities, and also achieving compliance through effective planning of the activities that we do. So if you're interested in hearing more about the AI governance that I've just explained, please reach out to me. If you would like to hear more about the CFE certifications, services, and products, you can reach out to them from the contact details here on the screen, and also we have in CFE certification, we have an online course calendar. You can get more details about these things on their website, or you can inquire these trainings via these email addresses. And if you would like to have a certificate of attendance for this training, if you have been to the training from the beginning to the end, there's going to be a link published in the chat very soon by CFE Cert, and you can get into that website and download your certificate if you have attended the training yourself. Okay, well, I would like to thank you for your attendance and for your time. It's been nearly 40 minutes. If you have further questions, please reach out to me. My name is Boğaç Özgen, and you can reach out to me from my email address, boğaç.ozgen@gyrofalco.com. If you're interested in any kind of gap analysis, assessment, internal audit, consultancy, or training services, I will be in your service. Thank you very much again. Is there any question from the attendees? You can put them in the chat. By the way, the link for the attendance certificate is in the link. You can click on the link and download your certificate. All right, there's no question, I guess. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your attendance and your focus, attention. I wish you all the best.